with Donald Trump right now and the vaccine rollout, he's been getting a bunch of credit and requesting a lot more credit. So it did happen, and he was president while it happened. So I guess to some extent he deserves some credit there. But I also think that the goalposts are being moved quite a bit, and it's easy. It's very easy to forget the things that have happened earlier in this year because so much happens every week to drive the old news out of our brains. But we've just experienced now, as of today, 2.1 million people have received a COVID-19 vaccination, which is short of the goal that we were talking about with Dr. Fauci, that 20 million doses. But do you know how much more short of the goal it was that Donald Trump was bragging about in the run-up to the election? I want to show you this video, which is from September 16th, about the eventual rollout of the vaccine in 2020.
We're on track to deliver and distribute the vaccine in a very, very safe and effective manner. We think we can start sometime in October. So as soon as it is announced, we'll be able to start. That'll be from mid-October on. Maybe a little bit later than that, but we'll be all set. So as soon as it's given the go-ahead, they're doing trials, as you know, and as soon as it's given the go-ahead, we will get it out, defeat the virus. We've manufactured all of the necessary supplies so that as soon as the FDA approves the vaccine, and as you know, we're very close to that, we'll be able to distribute at least 100 million vaccine doses by the end of 2020, and a large number much sooner than that.
There you had Trump in the middle of September, just a couple of months ago, saying that, for one, the vaccine would be rolled out in October. So he was predicting that just a couple weeks after those comments, it would start to be delivered, and he was off by months. But also that by the end of the year, we would administer 100 million doses. So we've hit 2 million. To be fair, as of Monday, the U.S. government says it's delivered about 11.4 million doses. So it's delivered 10% of what he had promised we would get. We've administered 2%. 2% is fine with milk, not great with public health. He was so off. And not just I'm predicting what's going to happen in 10 years. He was predicting that the vaccine would be delivered weeks later. And so it's totally fine for him to say that, for some of these vaccines, but not others, they provided some funding under Operation Warp Speed, or that, in theory, he didn't bungle it so bad that we literally don't have a vaccine. But to claim that that it should be named after him, or that he should get some massive amount of credit when he was promising and getting applauded for amongst his base these claims of delivery that 1/3 of the U.S. population would be vaccinated within 6 weeks of the election was so amazingly off that even now the new chief advisor to Operation Warp Speed is saying we might have vaccinated 100 million by the end of the first quarter, months in the future. So anyway, I know it's easy to forget these sorts of bold claims that are made, especially in the run-up to a general election. But that is something that he made that claim multiple times, and it turned out to be 98% untrue.
And the thing is, he's never really been truthful, and he's also never been consistent other than lying. So, to even continue to listen to him is just, it belies logic. It's no good. And I cannot wait till he's gone. That's for sure. But I'm also just seeing that I guess the government has revamped the dietary restrictions or the nutritional things. And of course, they didn't address avoiding sugar or reducing alcohol consumption. And it just continues to remind me how this administration does not care about our health, our future consequences in any way, that it just takes care of itself. That's it. Yep.
That reminds me, one of the things that, of all the regulations that were rolled back in the early, the first year of Trump, one of the ones that frustrated me the most that got very little coverage was, I believe it was Michelle Obama had pushed for nutritional labeling to include added sugars for the first time, to actually make clear the sugar content and all of that. And they'd made that change and it was going to go into effect, and he reversed it once he became president. It was just such a petty pro-industry thing to do that obviously is going to do a lot of harm to people's health. Hopefully that's something that, again, you can put on the pile of things that Biden has to get to at some point.
Exactly.
Now, really fast, in addition to the vaccine information, I just wanted to give you the most updated numbers on how the pandemic is going as we enter into not just the holiday season, but what's going to be a very dark winter. As of yesterday, 162,000 cases were reported, over 121,000 hospitalizations, and nearly 1,500 deaths. Now, understand that the reporting is being massively affected by the holidays, and we don't know when that is going to be resolved. So in terms of the number of deaths, it's possible that that's what it actually was, but we don't know for sure. In terms of the hospitalizations, that is a very worrying sign going forward, because we know that a certain percentage of those people are not going to make it out of the hospitals. And so going forward, it's still going to be very scary.